Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Legacies, episode 109, titled What Was Hope Doing in Your Dreams, which premiered Thursday, January 31st, 2019 on the CW. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode, so huge spoiler alert on that. I'm recording roughly 20 minutes after the episode is aired. I got a little out of order there, though, but yeah. That's the deal right there, though. Also, I can't really hold it in. Legacies got picked up for season 2 today, so I was going to mention that at the end of the video, but I can't help it. Season 2, so another year. I'm so excited, but yeah, I've rambled on too much. I'm going to try to do this in 25 minutes because there's no way in hell I'm going to do it in 10. There's just so much to talk about and just so much things I need to say about it, so starting the clock. Let's begin with what happened in this episode. So the quote, what was Hope doing in your dreams, was asked by Landon to Raphael during the moment where they're trying to take down the creature of the episode. So there's that. And naturally, I mean, that's a very weird question to ask to begin with. So there's that. Timeline-wise, it's specifically the exam period, but since I don't know what exam schedule they're going for, I mean, with universities, since episode 106 took place in the middle of March, right? So usually for universities, their exams, or I've always had my exams in April then, either in December or it would be in April. But then if it's high school, I always had my exams in June. So I don't know if we're jumping into April and that's when they're doing their exam period, which version of it they're going. But there's that. We do find out that the previous episode, well, I guess we already knew, but it was confirmed again in this episode that episode 108 spanned over 3 days. So it makes sense. 3 days for the whole thing, and then it was supposed to take 3 days for them to return back to the school. So I guess 3 days since the events of 108. So there's that. Episode reminder, I'm going to say we do dive into the nightmare aspect because our featured creature, which we're going to go into, was said to be a night hag, but turned out to be a black-winged, shape-shifting dream demon that was pretending to be a night hag to kind of throw them off the scent of how they can defeat them. But this dream demon is supposed to be from ancient Greek myth, so it's pretty clever on how it was trying to be one thing to confuse us. So there's that. There have been some creatures or some instances where dreams have been turned into nightmares on Supernatural, but I do like the whole confused identity thing that was happening in this episode, because the night hag version was what was shown in the promo. So when they revealed that it was an actual winged dream demon, that was a huge shock there. Though they do look similar to the gargoyle, just a lot more dark and thorned or horned, or however you want to say it. So there's that. So I'll give it to this one for it, because there's many different things on Supernatural that dealt with diving into dreams, but I don't want to get into it. But episode breakdown for storyline wise, pretty much there's two. The majority of the episode focused on fighting off the dream demon. The second one was kind of like a little side backstory, which was searching for Saga again. So with the first storyline, like I said, I won't go too much into it because it was the focus of the episode, but it was everyone at the school trying to fight to stay awake and not be taken in by the dream demon. And they're all doing this while trying to figure out which creature it actually was. 80% of the school actually got evacuated to the Lockwood Mansion, and those who left behind risked themselves of being exposed to the dream demon, who was after the Malivore artifact, the urn, that we collected in the previous episode. Now, the second storyline is dealing with that triad guy who we still don't know the name of, but he's trying to search for Saga, who he knows used to work at Triad because of the photo, and apparently the necklace of the Malivore symbol is the company logo. So he goes back into the old paper archives and actually finds her and sees that she was absorbed into the pit, and though he's wondering how she was able to be back to be reabsorbed once again. So I'll get into that later, though. But the last scene of the episode shows the triad guy again finding Raphael and Landon's foster family when he's fostering and trying to inquire about where Landon is, though the family is compelled to say that they were adopted into a family in Virginia. Quite frankly, they shouldn't have included Virginia in there. They should have put a redirect and had them say like they got adopted in Seattle or something, somewhere across country from the from where they actually were. So that's gonna be trouble there. Mystery as to why he is so focused on them. So I think he's definitely more than the higher up company guy. So there's that. So character-wise, though, we do get Dorian Williams and Emma Tig being mentioned, though they're not seen in the episode, but their focus in the episode was said to deal with the evacuation of the students and getting them to safety. So that's what we heard about what they were doing in the episode, why they couldn't be part of like the research of the creature. So there's that. With Sayla, again, she's not seen, but we do find out that she went into the pit 20 years ago, and then we found out last episode she was there for 2 years. So that puts Landon at either being 17 or 18, depending how long. I don't remember how far into her pregnancy she was when she returned 2 years after from Malivore. So, yeah, some math there. But so at least that puts us with Landon's age, because Hope's supposed to be 17, coming on to her 18th birthday, maybe, I think. Yeah. So there's that. Again, Triad guy, he's looking into Sayla. He seems to know about compulsion and vampires, because at the very end, he's like, it seems that you are telling me all that you can tell me, type of thing. Again, don't know a name for him. He is the one that went undercover at the supposed gas leak when they ran into Alark and Hope. Really don't know if it's like a truly personal investment in Sayla, or if he's just trying to figure out why this lady went into the pit. Although he might be, I have a feeling that if he does find Landon, then he might think he's a creature from Malivore, and he might try to force Landon into the pit. I really hope it doesn't come to that, but there's that. And because this was an episode that's focused on nightmares, we do learn a little bit about the characters through these nightmares. With MG, we find out he has a nightmare being a Ripper. For Caleb, we find out that he has a nightmare of vampires themselves. Though he's defensive of his own kind, he's still afraid of the stigma behind them and turning out to be the darker versions of what it is to be a vampire. I think that's what I got out of his portion of it. From Raphael's portion of his 2 nightmares we've seen, they both surrounded with pain, abuse, or his transformation. And then Hope was there too, though. So there's that. With Landon, we see him having nightmares about having first day jitters, as well as his claustrophobia that we know that he has. And then with Alark, we see him in a nightmare of endless driving, so possibly alluding to his fear of there being no escape, I think. So there's that. But moving on to tidbits, though, we do see Hope struggling with her secret to Landon about her remembering Sayla and what happened over the days that he doesn't remember. So there's that. We do have Sheriff Matt Donovan being mentioned again, as he's the one that allowed for the school to use Lockwood Mansion as like a safe spot outside of the school to go. We do have the twins still in Europe with Caroline. We do learn a little bit more about the abusive backgrounds of Raphael and Landon, both with belts and cigarette butts included. We do learn that Raphael actually went to beat up Landon's previous abuser, and he never told Landon about it. So there's that. We do also see Landon playing guitar, and we see Caleb having a little rap session as well. So moving on to most shocking moment of the episode, I think for me it would have to be the fact that the dream demon wasn't actually the night hag. I mean, I like that surprise there, and it was cool that Landon actually figured it out with his research montage, which is pretty cool. He's definitely diving in to try to make an impression at the school. So I was pretty shocked there, and then just to see the difference of it, and then when the unmasking happened, it's like, oh, that's very. The hag itself was disgusting, and then to have it come out to be this very disgusting version of the dream demon, that's a surprise there. So anyways, moving on to top 3 favorite moments. There's no way I have 3. There's just too many to count. So I'm going to do them in order of when they happened in the episode, because that's the only way I can think of, and that's how they just kept on coming. So first off, my favorite thing that happened in the episode was the sparring match between Hope and Raphael. That was so cool. It was very interesting to see this is really his first impression of her skills, because she's always been sparring with Alark, who is a human. So to see her spar with a werewolf this time, who can kind of take a little bit more of her punches, was pretty cool. And then also have her be able to just show Raphael that she can handle a lot more than he thinks she can, was awesome as well. Because I think at times they forget that she is also a werewolf, because she's usually doing her magic mostly. So I think there's times where I think it's very easy for them to forget that she is part werewolf and that she is part vampire. We don't know for sure if she has any vampiric traits, but I can see how easily it is for them to forget. So for her to be able to spar with him and have him remember, oh yeah, she's not just a witch, is pretty cool. So I really appreciate that. I do like their friendship between them, which I'm going to talk about later on though. But another favorite I love is the huge tag team that we get to take down the Dream Demon. I love that it was Landon, Raphael, MG, and Caleb helping out Hope and doing their part to pull the Dream Demon out of the astral plane. I love how Landon was the one that taunted the demon and actually got a hold on him to bring him into their plane of existence. So I love that teamwork there. I also love that while Landon was asking Raphael the question, I was like, what was Hope doing in your dreams? And then Raphael was like, look, she's just what she always does, being a badass. And then the moment he says that, Hope bursts in through the doors with the Dream Demon on her tail and starts fighting him. And then that kind of like reaffirms Raphael's moment of like, yeah, she's a badass. And he's like right now. And she's just taking the demon on by herself, which leads to my next favorite part of it, was the fact that I love that it was Hope against the Dream Demon by herself, and then to get assisted by Lark when he comes rushing in and throws the arrow at her and telling her, get it in the eyes. And then she does it very fiercely, might I add. It was just like, and then the fact that it impressed all four boys while doing that, it was just like fully cemented, like, yeah, Hope is a true badass, because MG has seen it, Landon has seen it many times, Raphael maybe has heard of it or maybe has allusions to it, but this is the first time that Caleb is seeing it, I believe. So that was just friggin' awesome. It's like Hope was like killing it in this episode. So there's that. Another favorite of mine has to be the little rap session we got between MG, Caleb, and Landon. Just having them having a little bit of a fun time after the stressful day that they've had, and just having them stringing the guitar with Landon, Caleb spouting some raps about the day's events. That was pretty fun too. It's just to have them be kids for the moment. That was awesome to see. And then another favorite I have is Hope and Alark throughout the whole episode, consulting with each other about the case, trying to figure out what to do next, how to do it. Also, the tag team against the demon at the very end was great, and then just checking up on each other at the end when Alark's icing himself from his own injuries, and teasing about like where Hope hid the urn under her pillow. And it's just like, I really love the dynamic. You definitely see different levels of the dynamic between them. They're not just headmaster and student, or mentor mentee. It's like, again, I still want to say that she's probably his unclaimed third daughter, from the way he's protective, or how much he includes her and stuff. So there's that. I'm always going to love those two as long as it's featured. I just love it. And then the last thing for sure, Hope and Landon. Specifically Landon's declaration to Hope at the very end. And he was telling her that if you change your mind about giving me a shot, that's fine. That only means I'm going to try harder to win you over. And it was just like, the way he said it and how he said it is just like, he was pretty much telling her, I'm not going to give up. Just because it was just like, it really showed, what I love about it is that it really showed how much he cares for her, and like how much he wants her to give him a chance. But I just love that he's not giving up on her, pretty much. I really love his dedication. I really love how he started the conversation about it too. So I really love the vulnerability he brings. I love how honest he is about it. I love how like he's not afraid to say what's on his mind, especially if it means putting himself in a vulnerable situation. He really wants to lay things down and tell you, like, this is where I stand. It's like, change your mind, be how it may, but this is what's going to happen on my end. It's like, if you don't want to go out with me, that's fine. That's just going to mean I'm going to work harder to try to convince you to change your mind about it. So it's just like, I really like that he's not giving up after everything that's happened to Landon. I really like that he wants to fight for hope. He wants to fight for the possibility of them being together. And it's just like her reaction. I'm so glad that she was on the same wavelength and she still wants to be with him. It's just like, when he was doing his declaration, I really felt like, yes, this is boyfriend material right here. Minus all the very, very bad baggage that happened to him. But the honesty, the vulnerability, the willingness to want to talk and check in with your partner and see, like, are you okay? Is everything all right? And then wanting to help her in any way that he can, as a research partner, as trying to find what was happening with the creature, to not leaving her behind. It was just like, I love Landon. So there is that. So that's it for my favorites. I told you I had more than 3. But moving on to top 3 peeve moments. I really do only have one. This episode was fantastic. But the one peeve I did have was Raphael pretty much ending his friendship with Hope in order to protect Landon. Now, I do respect Raphael's decision to put Landon first because that's his brother, right? So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that he doesn't want to be part of any secrets that Hope could have. But the peeve that I had was the fact that Raphael was going to give up his own relation, or his own friendship, I should say, with Hope. And I can understand why, because he was having these nightmares where Hope was a little bit more than just a friend to him in the nightmares. And I could see how he worries about maybe like that that carrying over to reality, and how that could be misconstrued, how he could like have mixed signals, and always questioning whether or not this is just a friendship, or is this me betraying my brother in a sense. So I can understand that. The peeve that I really like the progression of the friendship between Hope and Raphael, especially when they had that sparring session as well too. I really felt like, as werewolves, they have something to bond over. That's something that they can connect with. That's something they can relate to, right? So the fact that he's like telling us, like, we can't do this anymore, like we can't talk like this anymore, it was just, it was a peeve just to have that. It just felt like he didn't feel like he could just be friends with her. More like the adage of how people say that guys can't be friends with girls and vice versa. It always has to be like, there has to be like something more there. But yeah, that was my only peeve. Like, when it was happening, it's just like, no, can't you just be, because like eventually isn't Landon gonna pick up that change, and he's gonna wonder, well, why are you not talking to my girlfriend? Why are you not friends with my girlfriend anymore? Weren't you friends with her before? And then that might lead to Raphael eventually having to tell Landon, well, it's like, I was having these dreams about her and I didn't want to comment, and that's just gonna put more rifts. I don't know, but there's that. But moving on to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode, I'm gonna say Dream Demon for sure. Just the whole idea of what it does. The fact that this episode actually had timestamps to let you know like how far into the day that they were in, or just to let you know like how far some of them are going without sleep. So that was pretty cool there. But also just to see the team up with the students again. So there is that. Random questions though, let's move on to that as I scroll down my page. First question, is the Malivore symbol the true symbol of Malivore, or is it really just the company logo for Triad Industries? Because like the Necromancer, he might have thought that the logo that he sees as Malivore is the sign for Malivore, when he could have just been taken to Triad Industries, got thrown in the pit, and that was probably the last thing he saw there was the symbol of the company, right? So it could be either or, so I'm wondering which one it is. Second question, will Hope ever tell Landon about her secret about Sayla? I feel like the longer she doesn't tell him, the more it's going to hurt the relationship between them. Although the speech he gave her about her like, keeping your secrets, I don't care, I'll just work harder type of thing, I wonder if that's still going to stand when the time comes that he finds out the secret. So I think at one point she's going to crack about it, or he's going to find out about it, and there's going to be that sense of betrayal. I don't know. So there's that. And last question. Has there always been a hero walk after every monster has been destroyed? We got it in this episode with Hope taking the lead against with her 4 boys following, which I thought was so cool, and then Alark just watching from behind. We did see the hero walk when they took on the Arachnid with Josie and Lizzie following behind Hope. Did we get one for the previous ones? Did we get one for the zombies? I don't think so. We didn't get one for the Necromancer. I don't know. Maybe if it's like a group defeat, then maybe you get the hero walk. Or maybe it's because I'm taking it off from Supernatural, because they also had a hero walk recently as well. So I don't know. Or if it's just like something because like they're students, they're younger, and their mindset of the hero squad and stuff. So there's that. But otherwise, anyways, let's move on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 110, it looks like Lizzie is back and she meets a genie and who's granting her one wish of pretty much wishing away the Salvatore School's existence. I mean, already right off the bat with the promo, I'm already annoyed for Lizzie's selfish return. We do see Josie return as well in the episode. But I don't know, with 2 episodes without the twins, while I miss Josie, I was okay with not seeing Lizzie. But it looks like it's going to be centered around Lizzie's selfish wish. I don't know, maybe this is a wish that can maybe change her perspective and be a little bit more grateful or a little more appreciative of what she has. So hopefully this episode will be a turning point for Lizzie. But the synopsis reads for the episode that following a stay in Europe with her mother, Lizzie returns to Mystic Falls and comes face to face with someone who can make all her wishes come true, including making Hope Michelson disappear. So I guess if there was no Salvatore School, then that means that that was the place where Lizzie met Hope. So if there was no school, then there would be no reason for Hope to return to Mystic Falls. So I can see where the logic is for that. But then I'm wondering what else doesn't change. What happens to Hope? Does she becomes a little darker? Does she have to deal with the Hollow still? It's like, there's that. Does that change a lot of things for Alark's history, the twins family? That definitely is going to change the fact that they're not going to meet MG, they're not going to meet Caleb. They won't have a reason to meet Raphael or Landon. So that'll be interesting there, though. But this whole genie thing is going to remind me of the Djinn from Supernatural. So we'll see how this goes here. There's got to be a consequence for these wishes. So there's that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it. Again, with the news, they did renew Season 2. They announced it today. Super excited about that. But we do only have, 6 episodes left of the season. There's only 16 episodes. So what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about all of that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Go check that out. I'm a little behind, but I try to keep up every few weeks just to do a whole big chunk of it. So be on the lookout for that. Also, WordPress account, link for that is down below. Everything I post online is connected to my WordPress account. It's more organized, more detailed, but I still work in progress, so there's that. But otherwise, guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next week to see what I have to say about the episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now, and I beat the clock. Ciao.